really struck by that phrase as well. And for me, it related to the idea of curating, which is what I do, which its root is curate, to take care of things.
Yeah.
And it excited me, the idea that often my practice is about creating an event. You're always doing things for other people. I mean, it's not like being an artist. It's not driven by internal questions or expressions. It's really, you've almost got the person in mind who you're creating for. And it was really lovely to hear that played out in a way which is actually political, which is that gesture of doing things for other people, creating an event for other people is part of a kind of social, political, by its very nature.
Yeah. And I mean, I know the way that your practice of curatorial work functions is as a very social, political, I think. I mean, from what we've known each other for some years.
What do you think about the relationship between process and event? Because so much of what, like, I feel like there's this sort of like focus in the world of care towards like not being object oriented, but like allowing something to sort of be in process.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering how that like fits in with or is counter to this notion of like a constructed event, or is it just this idea of sort of like bringing people together and sort of like interconnectivity as event? And process perhaps has this more sort of like solitary feeling of like a singular trajectory in time, whereas like event is like this locus. So
I feel like event has time in it. That's sort of what I think about, like that it has a time and a location. I actually don't know. I don't know.
It's generative.
Yeah.
It's maybe,
I think it's similar to what you're saying.
yeah.
I've never really thought about it in a way that has like that kind of evolution of television.
I think that this is just like a kind of a question that we who are on the side of resistance, we were trying to think about what to do next, politically, socially in this country, all of these things. Like, I think one of the things that needs to be a question on the table is like, how do we manifest these things sustainably through time? Like, we can't just go to a meeting and get roused up and then often feel sometimes a little like there's too much aggression in that room for those of us who are like chronically ill or something. And then go home and feel like tired and then you can't like do the thing that was decided at the meeting. And also like a lot of this work emerged because I wasn't physically able to go to the Black Lives Matter marches that were happening outside my window because I wasn't able to like move without a wheelchair at that point. And even if I had had a wheelchair and someone to push me like in my wheelchair at the march, it wouldn't have been safe for me. And I am white passing. It just started to make me think about like who can protest in the popular ways of protest that are legible, and how are other forms of protest legitimated or invisibilized or not, all of these things. So, where are we on time? Is that good? I could just talk forever.
We started a little bit late, so if somebody has like a final question, we can wrap it.
The other bit I'm really struck by was this relationship between privilege and
Yeah. Yeah. Fred Moten. Just like, yeah. It's like being around. I was telling Sam last night, it's like being around like a bodhisattva, like the one that's already enlightened but has decided to stay here. Yeah. Like talking with Fred is like that, and I was so lucky to have him as my mentor through this because he was always saying to me like, think like not just in terms of what you are, but like how we can do it. Because I was getting caught up in like how I was being defined. Like I have this disease of the uterus, but I don't identify necessarily as female. But like my femaleness is like in my life all of the time in a really horrific way. And so I just started to think all about that. And he was like, no. We think about how we're going to do it. Don't just like think about what you are or how you're getting defined or categorized or identified, and if you agree with that or not. So yeah. he was like, you know, the idea of privilege comes from the idea that you can even be an individual. So, if anybody wants to like talk later, I'm here today and tomorrow.
Thank you. If folks want to stick around next, we have Hadil. She is going to do a lovely talk. She works on interfaces that help people who don't have the ability to have a voice. I think that's how you describe it, voice for the voiceless. And she builds amazing things. So I hope folks stick around for her talk. She'll introduce herself in a few minutes. And thanks.
Thank you.